Welcome to Sports Biz with LD. I am your host, Larry Davis, and I guess since it's a couple of weeks in a row now, my co-host, Dr. Rich.
Hi, how you doing, Larry? What's going on?
You're what's going on, my man. Back to back, and maybe next week, who knows what's going on with us?
I know. We're just like a pair of bookends, aren't we?
Are we bookends? Well, you're the book writer. I mean, I'm not.
That's
the book
true.
writer.
I have a book out. Yes, we'll talk about that some other time. So, what's new this week in the world of sports?
Well, just last night, I'm sure every Met fan must have been like, oh, when Cespedes got hit in the hand. The whole Met season right there before people's eyes had to be going, we're done.
That's right. Yes, I heard the hush. I heard the
Were
hush.
you part of the hush?
No, I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen now? Because he's really the anchor of their offense. He's the spark plug.
He's a monster.
Yes.
He's a monster on that team. I mean, listen, they made a lot of moves. Brought up Jose Uribe, who's got the chest contusion right now. He's hurt. Let's hope he makes it on the playoffs.
Yes.
But you're going to keep him on the bench and the clubhouse. He's such a good leader, and he's won 2 World Series, so he knows how to win.
Yes.
You bring in Kelly Johnson, really hasn't played that much, but you know he's still a very good player off the bench. You know, they bring in these players at the deadline that have helped them tremendously, no one like Mr. Cespedes.
That's true. Very true. It's going to be an interesting postseason.
And let's not forget Mr. Reed in the bullpen. We like him very much because now you have like a 7, 8, 9 inning. But, you know, thank God, probably an hour later, Mike Puma, one of the beat writers for the Mets, tweeted out that he had spoken to some Met hierarchy, and they had said it's just like a contusion. Which, since you're a doctor, and I know you're going to say, not that kind of doctor, but what can you help us with the difference? Or
a contusion is nothing more than a bruise.
No,
so it's probably a bad bruise. He needs a couple days of rest and he'll be okay.
And call you in the morning?
That's right. Some ice, a little bit of whirlpool, and he'll be okay.
So the Mets are in the playoffs.
Yes.
So it looks like they're going to play the Dodgers. So from a business standpoint, because this is sports business show.
Yes.
L.A. left coast. I was trying to
right.
Left L.A. Right coast, New York. 2 of the strongest markets out there, New York, LA, Chicago. You know, you have LA, New York.
That's
you
true.
cannot ask for more of a ratings bonanza for Major League Baseball.
And the LA Dodgers used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers that played in Ebbets Field. And the reason that Shea was built for the Metropolitans is because Robert Moses didn't want a stadium built for the Dodgers, so they moved to LA.
Wow, that's good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Are you also a historian as well, a doctor of history?
I just watch a lot of television.
So now we have Dodgers, Mets. Now, you know, pitching, and more pitching.
Yes.
So you look at the Dodgers, they have Clayton Kershaw, considered the best pitcher in baseball. He's paid like it. I think he's getting $33 million a year for the next 7. It's like unheard of what he's getting. But Mr. Kershaw in the playoffs is terrible.
Yes,
we cannot even say okay.
That's right.
Okay, it's like if you went to a restaurant, it wasn't okay, it was terrible.
Right.
I'm not going back.
Yes.
So do you think, again, going into game 1, psychologically him saying, I've dominated in the regular season. I don't dominate in the playoffs.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, where are they playing? Are they playing in LA?
First game is going to be in New York because, as of today, I think the Mets have the home field advantage. They're up about 2 games.
Okay.
So home field would be in New York. Opening day would be, opening of the playoffs would be in New York, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Mets.
To beat Clayton Kershaw.
Yes.
So the next game, and the Mets will probably go, we're hearing DeGrom, we don't think Harvey because the guy pitches first, you not go to another start. Right. We don't know how that whole thing is going to go.
I feel the Mets have the momentum. They're playing in the home field. They haven't been in the playoffs since...
I think it's 9 years.
9 years. So they're really hungry. The Dodgers have been here before. They may not be as hungry. They may need a loss to get hungry.
So, you know, at first I was going to disagree with you, and then when you just threw in the loss to get hungry, then I changed my thought. Because while you were talking, I was like, I don't really agree with that. But the loss to get hungry is true. So if they do get that loss to get hungry, and the Mets do beat Kershaw, they come back with Zach Greinke. who is going to have the best ERA in the major leagues.
I agree.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Sports Biz with LD and
Dr. Richard Cherney here on the Daily Blue. Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Cherney here on the Daily Blue, and I'm here today to talk to you about my show with my partner and my fiance and the creative mind behind Journey into Awareness with Dr. Richard Cherney and Jamie Love. And we have a Facebook fan page, which I also want to discuss with you, which recently got launched by Jamie, and we have some very compelling stuff about our traveling throughout the country and other things about how we are all related and we are all really one. And to my left is Corinne Caro, who is the founder of the Daily Blue and Blue Chip Marketing. So if you want to be a guest on our show, you can call
631-761-9223. And I just want to say, since I have a minute with you on camera, that I'm very proud of you. I love what you and Jamie are doing and discussing the challenges that you have having disabilities. Dr. Richard is one of the most brilliant minds that I've ever met, and Jamie is very smart herself, but she really is beautiful. You got beauty and brains on this show.
Yeah, beauty and brains.
Beauty and brains.
Yep.
And wonderful discussions, not only about disabilities and awareness in that field, but inner growth, self-worth. I really love your show and the guests that you have for that. So if you are looking to be a sponsor, advertise on the site, or to be a guest, please contact us at 631-761-9223. You can always email info@bluechipmarketing.net, or you can tweet us at The Daily Blue. Thanks so much.
And we will see you on the airways. Bye for now. And we're back here on Sports Biz with Larry Davis and myself, Dr. Richard Cherney, on the Daily Blue. So, Larry,
I thought you might have said your name first. I was waiting to see if you go with Dr. Rich.
It's your show.
But just making sure about it.
Yes,
Just telling what I was thinking. Okay. So where were we? So let's go to prediction. Okay, so you're thinking, and don't look like Clubber Lang. What's your prediction? Pain. Remember that in Rocky? Rocky 2?
Yes.
And they said, what's your prediction? Pain. Who
7
do you like?
games, Mets. It's going to be back-to-back. It's going to be close games. They're gonna scrap. It's going to be one of the best series. Well, it's 5 games. It's
Right.
5 games. Okay, I go with the Mets in 5.
Okay, and then I will ask you one last thing, and then we're going to move on to
Sure.
your beloved Yankees. Who's the MVP? Good question, Larry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay,
We'll
at
see,
least you're
because
honest with it. I don't know. I will go with Familia because I think he's going to have to come in and close some games.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people are going to think Cespedes. A lot of people are going to think starting pitcher. Again, in the playoffs, who do you need? You need the guy to come in and finish the game.
That's right.
I will go with Jerry's Familia, who they're trying to get to break the Mets record for saves. They're trying to get him a couple more
Yes.
games. All right, so let's move on to the dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. All right, so let's move on to the Yankees who, listen, if these games they really need to secure the wild card, buddy,
Yes.
they would not be getting them. They cannot beat the Bo Sox.
I mean, I've been watching them for a week now, and I was like, okay, let's just wrap this up, you know? And they always surprise me because now they have to have a losing streak at the end of the year when they could be sealing everything up and just getting rust. I'm just so famished about
Famished
them.
is a nice word. I would say to you that, again, like we discussed before on it really doesn't matter if they stumble in. It looks like they're going to be in. They have, like you said, such a nice lead. The
Yes.
problem here, again, is what we started with, pitching, and pitching. So the way Tanaka pitched yesterday, you can't feel comfortable with him.
No.
Is it going to end up being in a one-game playoff? You're going to be pitching Luis Severino all of 6 starts? 7
know.
starts, his major league career, 21 years old. Richard, are you going to have to go with the hot hand?
Well, if I'm hedging my bets, I would say yes. And you know, the Yankees routinely do not do well in 5-game series.
Really? I would think the Yankees, with all the winning they've done, I think they, in the last few years, you're probably right, but if they were facing the Twinkies, it seems like they could always beat the Twinkies.
That's true.
And I don't know the stats, and it's my fault. I probably should have had my our assistant producer do a little homework. I wonder what the record is of the Yankees since Mark Teixeira went down. It just seems like when Bird came in,
That's
yes,
true.
he hit some homers, and he's done well.
That's true.
I think he's got about 10 homers,
Yes,
he's in the
yes,
20s.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's
You
a
could
good
say
hitter.
that Tex might have done the same,
Yes.
but it just seems like he's not hitting lefties.
That's
and you know,
right.
Tex was in going both
Yes,
ways. It
that's right.
seems like, and I know he hit a wall, and Alex is, you know, older
Yes,
and everything, and his year
that's
has been
true.
great. It just seems also with Tex going down, it just seems when Tex went down, the team just could not stay afloat.
Yes, the air came out of the balloon.
The air came out of the
They got a little
balloon.
deflated there.
They got a little deflated there. So the Yankees will get into the playoffs. It seems I don't think the Yankees are going anywhere in the playoffs. And I would think in Yankee land, you know, they're going to say, oh, okay, we made the playoffs. It really isn't acceptable to be a one and done the way George built the team.
Absolutely. And you're talking about expenditure. And they've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years, and they haven't really capitalized on the money that they've spent.
Well, I think you're right in a way, but you got to make the right moves like any GM in baseball,
That's
whether it's a
right.
trade or who you spend money on. I think that's a tough thing. So the Yankees and Mets will both make the playoffs. That's
Yes.
exciting, but we're both feeling the Mets will move on, and
Yes.
we both feel, I think you're agreeing that you don't think the Yankees are moving it or going anywhere.
I would like to, but I'm not sure. I'm on the fence still.
You're playing Humpty Dumpty. Is
Yes,
that trying to
that's
say
true.
you're playing Humpty?
Well, yes, I would say so.
Okay, Humpty.
I think the first 2 games are going to be the deciding factor
Okay.
in their 5-game series.
All right, so
We'll
let's
see.
move on and talk a little sports business because that's what the show was really the premise, and then we throw in all this other stuff, just so
Exactly.
you know.
Correct.
So, on the sports business end, I had read to you an article that I saw about that. I'm so into this because of the amount of money they're spending. This fantasy betting leagues, which are basically the two main players in the industry is
Right.
DraftKings
Right.
and FanDuel.
Right.
First, Richard, they're both valued, and they're in business, Mike, in less than 3 years. Less than 3 years. Just makes you, God bless
Yes.
America, what you can do
Yes.
in business today. They're both valued at $1 billion in head-to-head competition.
What an incredible amount of money in such a short period of time, which only goes to prove how the monetization of this business is attracting the attention of the professional leagues now.
Professional leagues, the people, and the players. We'll leave you with this note. The NFLPA has done a deal, has reached agreement with DraftKings that they will be allowed to use professional players in their ads.
That's incredible.
That's incredible that these major league sports are allowing in a little gray area loophole
Yeah.
for the fans like us to pretty much bet on sports.
Only in America. Welcome to capitalism.
Wasn't that Don King?
Yes, that's true. I borrowed his line.
I'm Larry Davis.
I'm Dr. Richard Cherney. This is Sports Biz with Larry Davis here on the Daily Blue.
See you next week.
See you next week.